Don't you know I expect my coffee on the table the moment I get out of bed? His deep voice cut through the heavy morning silence like a blade. The young maid standing before him visibly trembled, her hands clenched in front of her apron as her gaze dropped to the floor. She hadn't expected such a storm so early. I don't know, master, please forgive me. Her voice was barely a whisper, laced with fear and desperation. You're fired. No, no, please. I don't repeat myself out now. His tone was final, like the slam of a door. The maid's lips quivered, her eyes welling up, but she didn't dare protest again. Defeated, she turned away to gather her belongings. She had only started working here a few days ago, unfamiliar with the strict routine and even stricter master of the house. Jungkook ran a frustrated hand through his hair, jaw clenched tight. His morning was already ruined. Muttering under his breath, he made his way to the bathroom to get ready for work, shoulders tense, expression cold. A few minutes later, Mrs. Joan, his mother, quietly placed a freshly brewed cup of coffee on the table beside him. He didn't thank her, he never did, but she understood it was just his way. He took a few sips in silence, eyes fixed on nothing in particular, and then left for the office, leaving behind a trail of tension in the air. By the time he returned that evening, the sky had darkened and exhaustion weighed heavy on his shoulders. His suit jacket hung limply from one arm, and his eyes were dull from the endless string of meetings and paperwork. He stepped into the grand living room and sank onto the couch, letting out a low sigh. The moment his body touched the cushions, he heard a soft voice. Sir, shall I bring you some water? He lifted his eyes slowly without much thought. A girl stood before him in the standard maid uniform, modest and neat, her hands politely clasped in front of her. She kept her gaze respectfully lowered. He didn't say a word, just gave a tired nod. She returned moments later with a chilled glass, holding it delicately as she offered it to him. He took it from her silently, bringing the rim to his lips, sipping slowly. That's when he noticed her face. His eyes lingered, froze. She was beautiful, not in the loud, obvious way most girls dressed up to be, but in a soft, almost ethereal way. Her features were gentle and feminine, a small button nose, lashes like features, and lips that looked like they would never spoken a harsh word. But what struck him the most were her eyes, calm, distant. Focused on the task, not on him, not on his looks, his fame, or his money. She didn't even glance at him properly. That was rare. Most maids, most women, even either flirted openly or stared at him in admiration, but she was different. She didn't look at him like he was a god. She looked at him like he was just a man. And that catch him off guard. Without saying a word, he finished the glass and handed it back. He stood up, brushing past her with a strange heaviness in his chest that he didn't quite understand. He walked off to his room to change. Later, when he came down for dinner, the dining table had already been set. The aroma of warm, home cooked food filled the air. She was there again, serving the dishes with quiet grace, each movement careful and respectful. And still, she didn't look at him. And that silence echoed louder than any words. Later that night, the house had fallen into a velvet silence. The other maids were in their quarters. The lights in the hallway dimmed. One stepped out into the garden quietly, holding her phone as it vibrated in her apron pocket. She looked around once, then pressed the answer button. Hello, yes, I'm okay. I just started today. No, it's fine. I'll send the money by next week. The voice on the other end spoke gently, her younger brother asking about her first day. She smiled faintly, brushing a hand through her hair as the night breeze danced around her. And then, a sudden jolt, a strong arm wrapped around her waist and yanked her back, making her gasp. Her phone slipped from her hand into the grass. Please, no, let me go. It's me. She froze, breathing raked. Her body went stiff, but he didn't loosen his grip. Master, please let me go. She tried to struggle, but his hold was possessive, firm, too powerful. His breath fanned against her neck as he pulled her tighter. No, I can't. Do you even realize what you have done to me? Her heart pounded wildly. She couldn't understand his behavior. This wasn't just obsession, it felt primal. Master, I'm just a maid, please. I'm engaged. I belong to someone else. That made him pause. His lips hovered near her ear, jaw tensing. You are engaged. Silence. Then his voice dropped darker, colder. No, you're engaged, not anymore. What? You belong to me now, only me. You felt his nose graze her neck, his voice lowering into a husky whisper. You didn't stir, you didn't speak out of turn, you didn't try to please me like the others, and that destroyed me. Her breath hitched as he continued, voice soaked in something dangerous. I fall for things that ignore me, and you, little maid, you make me blood boil. This is wrong, you don't even know me. I don't need time. When I want something, it becomes mine, and my eyes are on you. But I'm just a mermaid, exactly, a mermaid who somehow makes the monster in me quiet. Only you can calm me. She swallowed hard, her body still in his iron grip. You have 1 week. 1 week? Yes. I want to marry you. Think about it. The answer should be yes. If not, he pulled back just slightly, eyes burning into hers. Then you'll learn what no choice truly means. And just like that, he let her go. The sudden release made her stumble a little, her pulse roared in her ears. She turned around, but he was already walking away, his figure dissolving into the shadows of the garden, and she stood there, stunned, breathless, shaking. Wine rushed back to her small, neatly kept quarter, her breath still shaky, her heart thudding like a drum in her chest. As soon as the door closed behind her, she pressed her back against it, eyes wide with confusion and disbelief. She slid down slowly, sitting on the floor, hugging her knees. What is happening to me? Why did he say those things? He doesn't even know me. Her voice was barely audible, like she was trying to convince herself more than understand him. Her fingers tucked at the hem of her maid uniform as she whispered to the quiet night around her. I'm just a maid, just someone doing a job. Why me? But then she remembered his voice. The warmth in his breath when he spoke those haunting words. Only you can calm me. She shook her head sharply, trying to push the memory away, but then just outside her door, she heard the soft rustle of footsteps and hushed voices. Two maids were passing by, whispering, unaware that she was listening. Did you see the way he threw the file at that intern last week? That maid is cold planet. Cold, he's cool. He doesn't even look at us like humans, always ordering around like a robot. They giggled bitterly, walking away, wine sat frozen. Lips parted slightly in disbelief. She wasn't angry at them for what they said. She was hurt for him. They worked for him, eaten from his money, and still they speak behind his back. Maybe he's strict, but that doesn't mean he's cruel. He helped me. Her chest tightened as the memory of the past few days swelled in her head like autumn leaves catching wind. 4 days passed, and slowly things began to change. You didn't even realize when it started. Maybe it was that moment in the garden, or maybe it was the way he looked at you every time you entered the room like you were the only person who existed. 'His stare was cold to the word, but when his eyes met yours, something melted. Not completely just a crack in the eyes, but enough to warm something in your own heart. He would ask about your health quietly, carefully, like he didn't want the others to hear. You look pale today. Did you eat anything? I'm fine, sir. And when you walked away, you could feel the burning stares of the other maids at your back. The murmurs started, jealous looks, snide comments, barely veiled under fake smiles. You were not trying to attract attention, but it seemed like attention kept finding you, especially his. Then one morning, your word tilted. You received a call your mother had been rushed to the hospital after a sudden heart attack. You were panicked, crying quietly in the hallway near the kitchen when Jungkook found you. You didn't even realize you were in his arms until his hand rested lightly on your back. What happened? He told him, and he didn't blink before speaking to his manager, arranging the best private room for your mother and paying the entire hospital bill without telling you directly. You only found out later from Mrs. Jones, and that's when your walls began to truly crack. Why is he so kind, but only with me? He didn't even let me thank him. He looked angry when I tried. She curled into her blanket in the dark room, whispering again to herself, her voice trembling. He's not cruel, he's just hurting. No one sees it, but I do. And in that moment, for the first time, you were afraid not of him. but of yourself because somehow you were falling for the man everyone else feared. The kitchen was filled with the comforting aroma of sizzling garlic and spices. The pot in front of you simmered gently, and the clatter of utensils blended into a quiet hum around the mansion. Your hands moved with practiced rhythm, stirring, tasting, adjusting the flame. It was your piece. Until that piece was shattered with the sudden warm grip of two arms sliding around your waist from behind. You froze, eyes widening slightly, but you didn't need to turn. You already knew who it was. His presence always came with that faint calling, deep and woodsy, laced with something expensive and sinful. You always smell like something sweet, like temptation in an apron. His lips brushed against your neck suddenly, pressing a soft kiss just below your ear. Your body tensed instantly, but he chuckled lightly, his grip tightening slightly around your waist. Master, someone could walk in. Let them, maybe they will finally understand who you belong to. You gasped softly at his words, trying to escape, but he just leaned in further, his lips now dancing down the line of your neck. And right then, like fate playing its cruelest game, the door creaked open behind you. Wow, now maids are offering more than just cleaning services. You jerked away from Jungkook, startled, but his hand stayed firm on your waist. His body stiffened behind you as the maid stepped in with a smart smirk. Playing innocent won't help you, sweetheart. We all know your type. Girls like you crawl into the master's bed for a favor. Your throat tightened. You wanted to speak up, but Jungkook was already moving. He let go of you and turned slowly, his jaw clenched, eyes flashing with something wild. Say that again. She is clearly looking at her, pretending to. Enough. He lunged forward, sending a nearby glass crashing to the ground with a loud shatter. The maid flinched, backing into the counter, her eyes finally reflecting fear. But Joe didn't stop, his fist curled at his sides, and his steps were too fast, too dangerous. You dare insult her in my house after eating my food, wearing the uniform I paid for. He reached for a kitchen knife, not to use it, but the gesture alone made your stomach drop. His hand gripped it tight. I should end your tongue right here. Chongok, stop. You ran forward, hurt hammering. Your fingers grabbed his tie, yanking him away just in time. He stumbled slightly, his chest hitting yours. Please just listen to me, and before your mind could catch up, soft at first, lips trembling against his, but he didn't resist. He closed his eyes. The knife dropped to the floor with a thud as his arms wrapped tightly around your waist, pulling you closer like he couldn't breathe without you. Your lips moved together, his warm mouth exploring yours with both hunger and tenderness. His hands roamed up your back, clutching you like you would disappear. You were not listening. His eyes fluttered open, dazed and stunned. Then he smirked, still flushed from the kiss. So this is your method now, huh? Kiss me to shut me up. Dangerous, I like it. You roll your eyes, trying to push away, but he tugged you back. Want me to misbehave more often? My turn me another kiss. You hide your face in his chest, embarrassed, but he tilted your chin up gently. Wine, I meant it. You know about the marriage? You looked at him, heart pounding. You are serious? I don't play games, not with you. I want to marry you. I need to know. Do you feel anything for me, even a little? Your voice came out softer than you intended. I didn't want to, but these past days, the way you cared, how you helped with my mom, your silence, that only softens for me. I see it, and I feel it too. His lips curved into a soft smile, not coy, not flirtatious. Just relieved. Then say it, Angel. Say you will marry me. You nodded slowly, voice barely above a whisper. Yes, I will. He rested his forehead against yours. Guess I'll cancel plan B. I was going to change it to the mention if you said no. You let out a shocked laugh and smacked his chest. You are impossible. Impossible for anyone but you, and in that messy kitchen surrounded by broken glass, unfinished soap, and jealousy still hanging in the air like steam, he finally had what he wanted you.